Hello everyone, today we are going to start our new chapter, that is 9th chapter, Economic Importance of Bacteria and Fungi. Of bacteria and fungi. So in this video we will discuss the bacteria. So first of all, bacteria that is prokaryote unicellular organism. So bacteria are prokaryotic and unicellular, and they are primitive in all the organisms. Now they are found everywhere. Everywhere means in our environment and in our body also. In our body, different type of harmful and useful bacteria, they are present. Useful bacteria, they generate different vitamins in our body, and some bacteria that is present in our intestine, they are helpful in digestion. Now their size. Bacteria, they are about 2 micrometer in thickness and 0.5 micrometer in length. So they are present everywhere, and this is the size. Now the next is the shape of the bacteria. There are different shapes of bacteria. The first one is cocci. Second one is bacilli. Third one is spirilla. Fourth one is vibrio. Cocci means spherical shape like this. Bacilli means rods. Spirilla means curved. And vibrio means comma shaped. Bacteria, they may be present singly or in colonies. When they are present in pairs, then like this, then these are called as diplococci. When they are present in chains, then they are known as streptococci. So these are the different shapes of bacteria. Now next, that is the structure of bacteria. So you all know what is the structure of bacteria. The outer membrane, that is known as cell wall. Inner, that is cell membrane. These are the flagella. They are the locomotory organ, and there is naked nucleus material. This chromatin, that is attached to the one wall of the bacteria. Now the next one, that is the movement. So I already told you that movement that occurs with the help of flagella. Now the next, that is the nutrition. So they are heterotrophs. Heterotrophs means they depend on the ready-made food, and there are two types of nutritions. The first one is saprophytic and second one is parasitic. Saprophytic means they feed on the dead and decaying organic matter, and parasitic means they live on another body, that is called as host, and bacteria that take nourishment from the host body. So both are clear. Now the next, that is the respiration. So in bacteria, the mode of respiration is aerobic or anaerobic. Aerobic means in the presence of oxygen, and anaerobic means in the absence of oxygen. There are variety of bacteria that can survive in the presence of oxygen, and there are variety of organisms that can survive in the presence of oxygen. Now the next is reproduction. So there is asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction that help with the help of fission. So what happen in this? There is single bacterial cell. Then first of all, the DNA present that duplicates. That DNA that duplicates, and slowly the cytoplasm that also separated, and in the end there are two bacterial cells. So this is the reproduction in bacteria by fission. And there is also a sexual reproduction, but that is very primitive type. That is with the help of conjugation. So asexual, that is mean of fission, and sexual reproduction with the help of conjugation. Now the next in this bacteria, that is spore formation. Spore formation. In bacteria, spores are formed to overcome the unfavorable conditions. In this, what happens? A spore wall that is formed, and bacteria that formed into a circular cell. This is spore wall, and this is bacterial wall, and this is spore wall. Spore wall, and this is bacterial wall. So this is the spore formation. During spore formation, they can tolerate extreme dryness. Now the next one, that is the useful role of bacteria in medicine. Useful role of bacteria in medicine. The first one, that is in antibiotics. Second one, serum, and third one, that is vaccines. So in medicines, bacteria, they are present in antibiotics, serum, and vaccines. So first of all, what are antibiotics? So antibiotics, these are chemical substances which can stop the growth of disease causing microorganisms. And there are examples of antibiotics are like chloromycetin, streptomycin, and many more. Now the first produced antibiotic, that is penicillin. The first antibiotic, that is penicillin, and it was discovered accidentally by Alexander Fleming. The next one is the criteria for a good antibiotic. So what is the criteria of good antibiotic? That it should be kill the disease causing microorganisms, and it should not have any side effects, and it also doesn't kill normal bacteria of host body. So this is the criteria for good antibiotic. Now the second one, that is the serum. So what is serum? So serum, that actually means blood plasma. It is actually blood plasma from which fibrinogen has been removed. Fibrinogen has been removed, and it releases antitoxins, and these are used against bacterial invasions. How this serum that can be prepared? So the bacterial toxin, first of all, what happened? Bacterial toxin that taken and that injected into a healthy animal. Healthy animal. So in response of bacterial toxin, this healthy animal that secrete antitoxins, and further 3 or 4 times this bacterial toxin that is injected into a healthy animal, and after that this and the blood that taken out, and this blood that cleared straw colored plasma that left, and this plasma that contains antitoxins which are used against bacterial invasions. Now the next, that is the vaccines. So what are vaccines? So vaccines, they are preparation consisting of dead germ substances or inactivated germs. Now there are different vaccines that are available, for example for polio, chickenpox, measles, typhoid. So there are different vaccines available in the market. Now the next one, that is the role of bacteria in agriculture. In agriculture. Now there is first one, that is nitrogen fixing bacteria. So a bacteria that is Rhizobium that is present in the nodules of the leguminous plants. This bacteria take the free nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert it into the nitrates. So by this, plant that take the atmospheric nitrogen in the form of nitrates. So this rhizobium that help in the nitrogen fixation. The next one, that is the nitrifying bacteria. So the plants, they cannot take the free nitrogen of the atmosphere. It is necessary to the free atmospheric nitrogen that changes into nitrates or nitrites, then plants, they can take this nitrogen form. Now the next one, that is the nitrogen cycle. In nitrogen cycle, what happens? The plant waste and animal waste that contains the nitrogenous compounds. These nitrogenous compounds that firstly change into ammonia, and with the help of bacteria, this ammonia that changes into ammonium compounds. After that, these ammonium compounds, these are changed into nitrates with the help of bacteria, that is Nitrosomonas. After that, these nitrates that changes into nitrite with the help of Nitrobacter. So in this way, plants that take nitrogen in the form of nitrites. Now this nitrite that going to atmosphere with the help of denitrifying bacteria. These denitrifying bacteria, these changes the nitrite form into the free atmospheric nitrogen. So by this equilibrium that can maintain in the environment and in the soil. So these are nitrifying bacteria and denitrifying bacteria. Now the next one, two terms, there are decay and putrefaction. So what is decay? It is a complete breakdown of organic matter by bacteria and without emitting a foul smell. So it is a difference between two. Here the foul smell that comes, but here no foul smell, and in putrefaction there is foul smell. The example of this is cow dung, and here the sewage plant, sewage treatment plant. So here organic matter decomposed without foul smell, and here organic matter that decomposed with foul smell. Now the next one, that is the role in industry. So the first one, that is the different flavors of tea in industry. Different flavors of tea. And second one, that is the tanning of leather or leather tanning. Leather tanning. So these are the useful things of bacteria, but there are many things where these bacteria, they can harm us. So first one, that is the spoilage of food. Spoilage of food. So the disease known as botulism, or also called food poisoning, it is due to some bacteria, and this occurs in packed food like tinned cans. So this botulism, that is a severe disease of food poisoning. Now the next one, that is the food preservation. So in the one hand they doing spoilage of food, but in another these are used for food preservation. In food preservation there are different terms, that is first boiling. So when we boil anything, then we can separate the bacteria, or we can free from bacteria. For example, when we boil the water, then at higher temperature and increased pressure, the bacteria that kill. Second one, that is the salting. When we do excess salting, that kills the bacteria. For example, in pickles. The third one is dehydration. When we remove water from anything like food or vegetables, then there is less chance of growing bacteria. The fourth one, that is the pasteurization. Pasteurization that happen in the case of milk. Here we boil the milk at 60-degree temperature for about 30 minutes and then quickly chilled it. So it also kills the bacteria. The next one, that is the refrigeration. So in refrigeration at low temperatures, bacteria they can't grow. And the last one, that is the strong concentration and chemical. Strong concentration, for example, in jams there is strong concentration of sugar, so that they get rid from bacteria. Or in pickles there is excess of salt. So these are different methods of food preservation. Now the last one topic of bacteria, that is bacterial disease in plants and animals. So in plants there are two common diseases that occurs by bacteria, that is black rot of mustard and bacterial blight of cowpea. And in animals there are two diseases, that is anthrax and tuberculosis. And humans, you also know there are different diseases like typhoid, measles, chickenpox, diphtheria, etc. So this is all about the bacteria. Thank you.